Distinguished guests, dear partners, dear friends, every child has a dream. A Ukrainian child dreams of ordinary things. A morning without sirens, a classroom that still stands, a family sitting together at the same table. Things that once seemed unremarkable and now feel like everything. Today I want to talk about what it means to protect not only the lives of children, but their right to dream. Since 2023, the Office of the Ombudsman of Ukraine has been systematically building a network of child rights protection centers across Ukraine. Today, 5 such centers are operational. These are not just offices. These are safe spaces where a child can be heard without fear, without judgment, with dignity. In just 5 months of this year alone, our centers have conducted 278 interviews with children and young persons. Behind each one of them is a child who needed someone to listen, a child whose voice we must protect. Our centers are built on the Barnahus model, Europe's gold standard for interagency child protection. As Ukraine moves forward on its path to EU membership, these centers are not just a policy commitment. They are proof that reform is already happening for real children in real communities. Our work directly supports the implementation of the Better Care for Every Child reform, because every child in Ukraine deserves protection, care, and a future. No matter where they were born, no matter where the front line runs today. But there is another dimension of child protection that I must speak about today. Since the beginning of Russia's full-scale invasion, many Ukrainian children have found themselves abroad, without their parents, without a legal guardian, alone, in an unfamiliar country. The Office of the Ombudsman of Ukraine works systematically to ensure that every such child is returned home to Ukraine. This is not a bureaucratic process. This is a moral imperative. A child without parental care is among the most vulnerable human beings on earth. They deserve not only protection, they deserve to grow up in their own country, to speak their own language, to live in their own culture, to have their own memory. We cooperate with partner countries, international organizations, and civil society to trace, support, and return these children. And we will not stop until every child is home. Let me share 2 stories that illustrate what this work really means. In 2025, our team brought home a 3-year-old boy who had been left without parental care in Egypt. We found parents, planned the route, arranged his documents, and our staff accompanied him every step of the way back to Ukraine. A family was waiting for him. This year we returned 2 siblings, a brother and a sister from Kazakhstan, also left without parental care. Every step required absolute attention. Coordinating with Ukrainian diplomats, working closely with the child protection services of Zaporizhia Oblast. Today they are safe in Ukraine, and they have found their family. These cases remind us that recovery is not only about infrastructure. Communities must make it their priority to give families every reason to stay, to return, and to build their lives in Ukraine. And for the children who remain abroad, we must ensure their return home, the preservation of their national identity, full access to Ukrainian education, and the right to grow up within a family. These are not secondary concerns. They are the foundation of Ukraine's future. Ukraine is fighting, but Ukraine is also building the institutions, the standards, and the human infrastructure that will define what kind of country we become after victory. The child rights protection centers are part of that future. They are our promise to Ukrainian children that the state sees them, hears them, and will stand beside them, no matter how hard the present moment is. We ask for your continued support, political, financial, and institutional, to expand this network, to reach every region, and to ensure that no child in Ukraine is left without protection, without care, and without the right to dream. Every Ukrainian child should have a dream to live in Ukraine, to study here, to build their future here, to be free, independent, and strong. Because if we protect a child's rights to dream today, we are building Ukraine's future. Thank you very much, dear colleagues.